Okay, so I'm just going to delete that dimension that I put in and put something in again. Press the delete key, yeah, there it goes. Now I'm just going to go and put a dimension in, but before I do, I'm just going to open up the dimension style dialog box here and change a few things. At the moment, the units are in meters, so I probably should drop that down and select the units to be millimeters, and probably the precision only needs to be as much as 1 millimeter. If I then also, at the moment here this button display units is being selected, so at the moment that will display how many millimeters. If I don't want that to display, I simply just turn it off. Now I can place the dimension from that endpoint to that endpoint and place the dimension out here. As I'm also drawing this, you can see that the start arrows and end arrows and sizes of those have been set up also, so they can be, and the thickness of the lines and so on and so forth, and the colour of the lines for that matter. So all of these things can be controlled on the right hand side of the screen here, preferably before you actually put the dimension on. We're going to do a bit of practice of that in a different way now. What that dimension has gone on, that's measured the paper size of that rectangle. Now we need to know now how to control different scaled items. You could also uncheck auto scale here and drop this down and select a scale. So if this dimension was supposed to be at 1:100, and as I do this dimension I might also change the start arrow and end arrow. That's pretty good, but I might up the point size to something more like 5 point and 5 point. Okay, at the same time the text style might need to go up to 12 point, something a bit bigger, just to show you some of the differences. And now I'm going to be able to dimension from that endpoint to that endpoint, and there's the effect of that dimension going in. Now, I might try that again, going from that endpoint down to that endpoint. Yes, went upside down the first time, so I'll just put it the right way up. Dimensions should always be read as looking at them from the right hand side of the page, so that's why this one would read better. Okay, so that's basically how you could change the scale of things if you're pointing to the actual piece of paper. Now there's a cleverer way you can change the scale also. If we haven't shown you how to bring a SketchUp model in just yet, and when you bring a SketchUp model in, when you've got auto scale selected for dimensioning, it will automatically go in and pick the scale of the SketchUp model. So what I'm going to get you to do next is just put a crossing window from the right hand side of the page back to the left, press delete without selecting any of the actual title block. And I'm going to show you how to actually import your SketchUp model now. So what we'll do is we'll go File, Insert, have a look for your SketchUp model, the one that you called Document or something, because that was the nice simplified version, and click Open. Model's still coming in, takes a little while for it to read all the information. Okay, so my SketchUp model has come in now. Probably one of the first things I'm going to do, I won't work in the perspective view just for start. So while it's selected at the moment, and if you've clicked out already, doesn't really matter, you can just click on it again, and it'll pick up that SketchUp model again. Now I'm going to open up the tab at the side here called SketchUp Model, and the scene at the moment was the last saved SketchUp view. Whichever one you saved, when you did a save, whichever view you had open will show up. I'll just drop that down and go to my floor plan. Okay, now when the floor plan takes effect, like it has done now, I'm going to also change its scale to 1:100. So the floor plan is now reading on my A3 sheet of paper at a scale of 1:100. Make sure that Preserve Scale on Resize is selected, and then you can come across with your arrow keys towards the edge of the image that's come in, just like this, and you can click and drag that to a different size and it crops it in. So come into the edge, Wait for it to take over for me. It's acting a bit slow here at the moment. Click and drag, pull it to the new size, and do that in a couple of locations. So we'll crop it. Basically what we're doing is cropping this image. Move it down. Depending on the speed of your machine, you have to be fairly patient with this. It's got a lot of information to look after. Now I'll get the move tool up, so as I come across on top of the view, my cursor becomes the 4-way arrow move, so I can click and then drag and just be patient once again until it takes over. And I don't know, I want it somewhere in a location, possibly somewhere like that as a starting point. So I can click out of there. And it's probably time for us to do a save there now, so I'll just do my save, and I'll save this as cabin 1 layout. Cabin 1.layout, and we'll save that. That's the first step in. I'm just going to show you how you can now put a dimension on. And so if I go to the dimension tool again, now here's our dimension style. It's already set up to 1:100. I think everything is in millimeters, and the precision is 1 millimeter. 5-point arrows or slashes. So have a look and see what else there is. No, that looks like the appropriate end symbol we'd have. And I'll just check the text. Just close down that one. So the text style, I'll go for something more like plain old Arial. And we'll just do it regular, but 12-point probably should be a good readable size. Now, once I get that then happening, I can then click on, I'll zoom up a little bit more to get something bigger happening, and I can then click on this particular line. It's actually going to find it inside the model, and zoom up, and oh sorry, I just wanted to escape out of that to show you. We select auto scale will be the best, and then zoom up, and it's automatically finding the actual SketchUp dimension, and it just wants to know where we want to place that dimension now. So I'm just going to click it somewhere around about there, and then I'm going to keep going and doing that again, and place it till it snaps onto the same location, and we're nicely setting out our dimensions. Okay, so you can now go and do that in the other direction as well, possibly up the top of the page here, and we'll just set out, I'm only interested in setting out the grid line dimensions for the point of this exercise. So just have a look in here. Oh, it's after a play. I'll just reselect that and put that one in again, I think. Delete that. And here we go with the dimension tool again. I think everything should be set up from last time. It appears that it is. I'm just going to pick somewhere on the line, come across horizontally somewhere on the line, give it a little bit of height, and go back and do that again. Okay, so we've got a, oh, that one was wrong. Just undo that. So I must have slipped when I could actually get the right, there we go, that's what I wanted, and straight on there. Okay, so I'll just select that, and this is how we're about to start setting out this drawing. So I'll just stop the video there at that point and let you catch up with that.